Today is the 15th of August 2022 in my birthplace of Dundastan, and I'm on the spot that brought me many great memories, the Ocean View Park and Dundastan. And when I saw what happened here with this project here, that I'm a member, it's really sad, but it reminds me, and I couldn't figure out how in the world did over 1 to 2 million Africans was taken from Africa by strange white men that didn't know Africa. And this project just showed me what happened. I ain't got no job no more. I'm jobless after my accident. And it says me that the Black Brothers in Africa went and negotiated with the white sailors back then, fooled the brothers into thinking that they were going on a joy voyage and they were excited, and they didn't know what they were getting into, because only a few knew. I don't know if you understand that. 2 million Africans were spread all over Europe and the Caribbean by strange white men that couldn't speak their language, didn't know their culture. And I said, only that could happen if that they had some brothers like what they got in the Dundastan Town Committee that came and negotiated this deal with Bahamas Fast Ferry, Bahama Hot Mix, and Brent Simmons right in the top of it. And the sad thing about it is, it reminds me when Baker's Bay first started. I learned so much from Michael Melman. I drove him and Sir Sidney Poitier. And the brother Kyle already know I could speak from in high school. I didn't have a problem speaking. And Sir Sidney Poitier was an actor. I know who he was. And he told Mike, I'm not gonna sit in the back of the car with you. I'm gonna sit up front with my homeboy because he got a message. And just like I speak to you here, I used to speak to Sir Sidney Poitier the 10 times that I wrote him. And he would tell Mike, I am sitting up front with my brother. And Mike would say, how could the government Kai negotiate on $1 billion land deal and they don't know anything about land development? In order to negotiate and know what you're worth, you got to know what you got. And that's what happened here this week, Friday and Saturday, with the Dundastan Town Committee, with a few that knew. Imagine that Brent Simmons got 25 million. That was the first contract. That was to carry the black people. Then he had a contract to carry the white billionaires. Then he came back and he got a third contract to pave all the roads in Baker's Bay. And Dundastan town committee members, the few that was there, they got a 300 feet iron fence, and the fella got millions, and they agreed for them to block up Dundastan, to block up all the Archers property and everybody else's property along the front of Dundastan. And all we got is a steel wall over 25 million. If Kai Mills was at the table during the negotiation, common sense would tell me that we didn't need no wall at the time. What we needed was material. And I already knew that Brent Simmons, because I'm the only one that broke the story, that they got 25 million. Nobody in the House Assembly, none of the opposition said anything. No newspaper carried the story up to date. It's a good thing I'm alive to tell the story, the art of negotiation. And we got the bad end of the deal, because the people that negotiated to get this little wall don't know the art of negotiation, nor did they have the rights to negotiate on behalf of the town committee without letting Kai Mills, who was a elected member then, an elected member now. It is disrespectful, but that's what you see in a small community when the bird brains, the pigeons, trying to act like eagles, but they're still pigeon. That's why Brent could get over 25 million and we get a black steel fence or the 25 million to block up Dundastan for the rest of our lives. And then they come and they break the fence down. I know Brent's gonna fix this back, but they had to come in here through here, so they broke the fence down. The great negotiator, you should let Brent build a brand new basketball court, or the 25 million, that ain't nothing. Build a brand new basketball court, but he break the fence down, so we gotta fix that. And this is all we got of the 25 million. The art of negotiation. It's a low tide here. There's a reason why God has kept me, for information that y'all don't know. I did a story on Shervin Archer, the wealthiest man in Abaco for decades. Nothing moves unless Captain Shervin Archer say so. But this is what we got with the 25 million, and they make sure paint it black so them black brutes could know that's all they get. Ain't even put no color on it. I would assume that they may put a little dirt inside it to make the brothers feel good, but that's what we get at the culture park. And the thing about it is the timing is wrong, because they should have done this before the Duke and Duchess came in, but they ain't had nothing else to do. They ain't got no money to grab up. So that's where we are. This is a beautiful low tide. This is where I took my first swimming lesson, first snorkeling, spear fishing. This got a lot of history right along here. And Brent them come and put a black steel wall here. And the Dundastan Committee, the few, boy, sometime I don't want to talk, but the spirit man come in me and say, you got to let the people know. I got over 800 people who voted for me last year in several elections. If I count all the people that voted for me between the general election and the local government election, I got over 1,000 people. Over 1,000 people that respected me enough to go to the poll and stand there for hours and voted for Kai Mills. And to have the chairman of Dundastan, Farron Noble, and Cecil Ingram to disrespect me for so many years, as if they only have brains. That's called corruption. I have to know. There's 1,000 people that voted for me that want to hear from me, but I cannot tell them Brent Sediment, Bahama Hot Mix, Bahamas Fast Ferry, is this all that they got? Did they pocket up some money? There's no paperwork. And if it smells like a rat, it stinks like a cat. But if the paperwork was available and the information was available, I shouldn't have to be guesstimating to the thousands of persons that voted for me in the past year or so. Nobody that voted for me on Dundastan Town Committee for Dundas Town proper and Central Pines, I could explain to them what all this machinery doing out here, who authorized it, how much was involved, what did we lose, what did we gain. But I can tell you, we lost, because the chief negotiator was not privy to sit at the table. And I was elected by the people, for the people, to look out for the best interests of the people, not to look out for the best interests of myself. That is what the Dundastan Town Committee is missing. Somebody like Kai as leader to look out for the best interest of the majority of Dundastan. Not to sit around and walk around because I got a little baby castle on the water. I have made it. And you pass everybody like they're peasants. And you make these deals without any authorization, without any legal means to do so. It is corruption. When one member don't know what's going on, and I'm born in Dundastan, it is corruption to the highest order. So Kai and his broken body come out here this evening on the 15th of August, 2022, to say this deal with Bahama Hot Mix, Bahama Fast Ferry, Fire Noble, Cecil, and Brent Simonette, all of them, it's a corrupt deal. Because this member don't know Kai case. That's why I could call it like it is. Corruption in the Dundastan Town Committee, one of the most corrupt local government in the history of local government in the Commonwealth of the Bahamas. One day they were Renato, one day they were Darren, one day they were